Hello, my brothers and sisters, my beautiful brothers and sisters. How are you all? Hey, it's a pleasure to know that. We are truly is starting to see that there is a better way, and it's really beautiful to know that. It's beautiful to know that I'm so sure of myself. It really is, because I can't be in your presence right now, and that kind of it might make you feel a little dismal, and I feel dismal without being in your presence. But the reality is we are in each other's presence. There is never a moment that any of you are alone. You can trust and believe that one. There's always an angel or a demon by your side, whether they're in a body or out of one. So, brothers and sisters, what I want to do is I'm about to get very real with everybody on the show that participates in watching the show and getting everything that you do get. I hope that what you're learning is helping you, expanding your awareness, and I'm about to help you to have a lot more faith in this process. Before we get into the total redemption process, I just want to let you know that this, as I've told you, this information war that they're calling your redemption process, it has not been easy. I have certainly had to deal with a lot over the past few months. I haven't had too many weak moments, and I promise you that. I promise you that on everything that I love, and I love everything. On everything I love, I promise you that. A couple months ago, and once again, I stick to everything that I've told you I stick to. That is, you and I cannot be one unless we take the proper steps to be one. That means all bloodlines. That means we change our habits. You got to change the way you eat so you can change the way you think. All right? You are what you eat. Okay? When you're consuming an animal, because you are neurologically connected to every conscious life form here, you are literally, we in human terms would call it cannibalize your awareness. You, for the most part, invert your awareness. This is where the fall that the Bible speaks of took place in you and I, man. You and I began to invert our awareness. We went from Christ, and now we are almost at Antichrist. Okay? In this duality program, it's about consciousness and unconsciousness, guilt and innocence. Are you conscious of what you're guilty of? Are you innocent of what you're unconscious of? Okay, it's all about traveling from one point to another, one point of perception to another in our program. And now you and I, immortal spirits, okay, to be called the children of Israel, we're surrounded by beautiful fail-safe protocols, but they come with a curse. Everything comes with duality, a blessing and a curse. You understand? So when you consider where we've come from, and you consider how much negative energy has been capacitated within all of our individual bloodlines, and you consider what this moment means for those of us who have the who capacitate these negative energies running throughout our ferromagnetic bloodstream on an ionic scale, okay? Throughout our soul support, our lower vibrational soul support, okay? That's a frequency support field that magnetically, what you're thinking builds up the negative or the positive energy within that soul support. And of course, what happens is you activate pre-programmed conditions to manifest. Now, how are those pre-programmed positive and negative conditions manifest? They're manifest through the controllers through the policies and the statutes that are set in whatever society you might be living in. Okay? These individuals, they of course create the urban landscape, and they create the suburban landscape. These individuals, they are city planners, and not only that, they're psychological warfare planners, okay? And at this moment in time, those who have committed the greatest crime against us, they don't want you and I to wake the hell up. They don't want you to have an opportunity to shine as bright as that sun sitting up there on the picture. They don't want you to rise, okay? And they certainly have given me a hell of a shaking up of my tables over the last few months. I told you when this campaign started that I am here to shake up the tables of everyone. I had to do it this way. I had no choice. This is the only way that I could get through to everybody. By hitting your websites up and saying hello. When you're having live feeds, I, of course, would come and interrupt the situation and say, hey, I'm here to talk and I need to be heard. I shook up many tables that way. And I have one story in particular, folks, of a live feed that I participated in about 5 days ago. So that would be April 5th. I'm almost certain it was April 5th, 2022. And of course, I imagine that was in the afternoon sometime. One of the individuals' platforms who attempts to create individuals that mimic the work I'm doing, and after watching my videos, what they do is just to shadow ban me. Is they, and even if you have heard of me and you say to one of these people, hey, why don't you have Christopher Spirit World X, the Mahdi, on your show? They'll tell you that they had a problem with me in the past. They knew me from years ago. They don't want to deal with me, blah, blah, blah. But what they'll do is produce a video after viewing my videos, use all of my talking points in my videos in respect to the shaking up of tables that I am doing through attempting to help you and I, gain a greater awareness of the difficulties that we create for ourselves. So what they do is they create videos that, whereas the individual who is attempting to mimic me or duplicate me is actually using every one of my talking points, and they do it very well because they're great actors. They're paid major money to stick to the damn script, okay? And you got to remember this, folks. You have to remember this. You are literally watching acts from when you look right, when you look left, you're looking at an act. It don't matter where you're looking and what TV you're sitting in front of. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in the Washington Garden. It don't matter where you are. It's all an act. To do what? Control the lower vibrational field frequency that exists here on this planet in humankind. For what? So that they can continue controlling our trajectory to oblivion. Through what medium? Through your awareness. And melanated people, seventh sensory awareness is the standard level of awareness that you vibrate with. All of our fail-safe protocol, blessing and curses, blessing and curse, and I only use those words to help you people to understand that everyone has a Jekyll and Hyde. So not only does every individual in the European, Indian, Arab, Asian race have a Jekyll and Hyde, but their race has two sides. There is a ratio of people who are third eye open and the other are third eye blind. Spiritually sensitive, spirit, and of course, anti-Christ, anti-light, non-spiritually sensitive. And then you got those in the middle, to whom are being pulled by one of either side, depending upon the society they live in and the controllers who program their thinking to be high or low vibrational, third eye open or third eye blind. Okay? So, I'm just trying to help you people to understand your electromagnetic marker in this matrix program, because it is important for you as we go on, because you are about to be thunderstruck like a gentleman recently, Mr. Lance Curve. I've told all of you people, hey, go check out his site in the past. He's in him, Stephen Darby Ministries, Ralph Smart, they're all in collusion to literally be a gatekeeper to your ascension in awareness. Okay, now listen. Watch their videos, think about what I'm telling you, and make sure that you let them know that you know what they're doing, so that they'll realize that you know what's going on. Now, something very, very peculiar took place recently. The battle that has been ensuing with these individuals has been a rough one. I really haven't gotten too depressed. I've gotten very angry and at a lot of the things that have been said about me, in lieu of things that may have happened in my past. You see, folks, I'm out of the box that these people are still in. Okay, and the past is what defines them. And what is the past? The past is death. And what is death? What you're looking at in the mirror. Why? Because it grows old and rusts away, while you existed before it and you'll exist after it. Okay? You are infinite consciousness. Your body supports the conversion of your electromagnetic conscious journey in this, your very own electrochemical, magnetic, immortal life support creation matrix genetic evolutionary program, to which you're about to find way more out. How should I say that? You're about to find out so much more about. So, Mr. Lance Curb, and I'm sure you don't mind me. He doesn't mind me saying his name. He certainly does not mind attempting to influence you to believe that I'm a crack addict. And family, I don't have no crack in my system or cocaine, and there, except for one time in a year and a half, I haven't had any in my system. I'm on a path that can't be touched by these damn fools, so they're very upset that I can't be stuck on these chemicals, okay? These very hazardous chemicals. They're so upset, and I love it. And oh my, you can imagine how much passion I have for this campaign. I mean, I every day have been putting in a ton of thinking and processing of information, interdimensional information, and yet and still and battling, while at the same time my own residual magnetic misalignment, okay? Because until we are one as individuals, the capacity for weakness is still there. We're the lost children of Israel for more than just living in someone's country. We are lost in diet. We are lost in knowing how to function. We're lost in a couple other things too that you're about to find a lot more about. Okay, find out a lot more about. So I kind of lost myself, but don't worry, we're so good. This process has almost broke me. They've made me feel like I was crazy for a minute, just for a minute. You know, it's like, wait a minute. Is that, what did I just hear that man say? He's saying everything I'm saying. And his video was date stamped for 10 years ago. I'm like, whoa. And then the angels let me know they're trying to attempt to control the time narrative. And, you know, they do that by creating acts, like news acts on when you're watching TV. You're watching people who don't give a crap about what they're saying to you. They're chasing their damn imaginations. And how are they going to get the stuff they're thinking about? By talking and prostrating real sharp and making sure their shoulders are nice and wide and broad and their jaws poked out, or their chest is nice and poked out at you, because they have a job to do. That job is to get an effect out of you through your senses, through your sense of sight, okay, and of course through your sense of your hearing, okay, and they want to keep you on the bad diet. They want to keep you making bad choices with the way you perceive who you are and who your mate is. They need to keep you fucked up, so they have to put on an act. You got me? Okay, well, anyways, to proceed into what I'm trying to get across to you. Just the other day, this gentleman who I've been battling with for 10 months, 12 months, who I genuinely went to his show and I said, I'd like to talk to you. And once I let him know that I was the melanated Messiah, he hung up the phone. He wouldn't call me back. And nor would anyone at his place answer the phone. Since then, I would notice on different websites where I seen the content creators like Dr. Umar Johnson, Vicky Dillard. I started to see their activity become heightened. Like their awareness became heightened for some reason, and I knew what it was. It was me. So they all started to produce different, hey, it's time to rise. We're going to rise. And, even the morning show, the morning rise, they have commercials for burgers, where they talk about the rise fries. I mean, they're just doing everything. What they're attempting to do is to create chaos, okay, in respect to the redemption process. But don't worry, folks. I got such a handle on things. You see those claws over there? Remember I told you those claws are soon to be in everybody's backs, especially those who oppose Mr. Lance Curb. You remember that, buddy? Do you remember I told you that, sir? Well, now, I just got a little something I want to share with the world, Mr. Curve. Folks, the other day, and I've told Mr. Lance Curve many times that when this is all over, I want you in front of the crowd. Don't stand in back, because you are attempting to do so much damage to what I'm doing that I need you in the front of the line. Don't stand behind anybody, because I need to hear you say, you were right. Among other things. So, anyways, the other day I went on to one of Mr. Lance Curb's, live streams, and wouldn't you know, there Mr. Lance Curb is once again. He has a gentleman on his show claiming they have the knowledge that everyone needs. Excuse me, folks, my cat is doing a little something that I don't want her to do. Okay. Now, I'm back. So, to finish, thank you very much for being patient. This gentleman was attempting to tell his audience, and now, of course, I don't know if he was in the studio with Lance Gerb or not, but Mr. Lance Gerb, and I don't know if either of them were looking at the live stream as the live stream was going up, because you know how the text continue going up. And what I did when I first got onto the live stream is I said, "Hey, Mr. Gerb, how you doing?" And blah, blah, blah. And I got no response because they like to stonewall the truth, folks. Remember that. They will act like you are totally invisible at this time, and don't let them. So to proceed, I listened to this man talk about how it is our electromagnetic field is altered and blah, blah, blah. And what he was doing was he was regurgitating information that the angels gave me to give to you. Okay? And I told the people that were listening in the audience, I typed in, folks, this man is not real. He's fake, and he's a gatekeeper. He is literally working in, he's in cahoots with this gentleman, Lance Gerb, and they are attempting to stand in the way of your redemption. And the video went on, and a couple other people were sending in their texts, and the guy was really trying to do a good job, but I wasn't letting that happen. And I told Lance Gerb months ago that I only want to be your friend. I don't want to be your enemy. But if you don't want to be my friend, and if you oppose what I'm doing, if you stand in the way of it, I will make sure that I will become your worst enemy. Now, folks, listen to me. This was 5 days ago. I'm here in New Kensington, Pennsylvania, second floor of a big house. Okay? I am 3,000 miles away from Africa, where Mr. Lance Gerb has his show at. And this man, now, I want to go back just a little bit, and then I'll jump right back on to where I am now. A few weeks ago, Mr. Lance Gerb, as a result of the impact that my last two videos have had, Lance Gerb, he said live on the air, what the hell, we might as well follow a guy that even though we don't know exactly what they do behind their closed doors. What does it matter if they're sleeping with a man or a woman? And hey, it's okay if why not? Why not let them smoke crack? I mean, shit, that don't matter. Let's follow him though. Now, this is what this man said to me, and let me tell you something. One thing I do not like is to be made a fool of. Because you are too precious. And this man, and when I say that, I'm talking about you, the Trinity, your interdimensional existence. And I was extremely bothered by what he said. And now, folks, when I tell you I'm invincible and I am the chosen one, you have to have every faith in everything I say. Because it's a fact of who I am. Now, what I want you to realize is this right here. I'm telling you about your evolutionary psychogenetic processes, okay? You can't be involved in homosexuality. That's totally, it doesn't make any sense. So I won't even share any information on, further conversation on that. Okay. You can't be on drugs. You can't do it. You can't eat the stuff that I've told you not to eat. It's impossible. So I took those arrows that he shot. And then the other day, as I said, I was on his live stream. And what happened on his live stream was quite amazing. Mr. Gerb got to see how very real the power that I tell him is on this planet is. Now, folks, during his live stream, I texted the individuals who were listening in the audience against what this man was telling the people. He was trying to influence the people to send him some money so that, he could give them a session and help them to understand all of this information that he doesn't even have, by the way. So it was about maybe 3-4 o'clock. I'm not sure, but I texted in. I said, next, folks, he's going to tell you that it's going to cost you $300 or more to, to get his sessions. He only wants your money. Now, I don't think he's seen that text when I put it up. But just 45 seconds later, guess what the man said out of his mouth? He said, brothers and sisters, it's only going to cost you $300 per set for the first session. He said, now, if you want to go to an advance, we will charge you more. He said the exact words that I said 45 seconds prior. Do you understand that? And I reminded him after he said those words, I texted to Lance Curb. I said, you see, Mr. Curb, I said, do you realize how close I really am to you now? I'm in your friend's head, and he's sitting next to you, and I'm all in your conversation before you even have the conversation. Now, brothers and sisters, I want to let you know that since that show, I haven't heard a peep from that man. He's not done any shows, and he might after this one to act as if he's bold. But I would not suggest it. What I would suggest is that you, Mr. Curb, what I would suggest is that you get your shit together because you ain't got much time to do it, homeboy. I can assure you of that one. Let's get ready to rumble. Have faith, brothers and sisters. This is very real. Did you get Thunderstruck, Mr. Curve? Did you get Thunderstruck? Yes. This next clip is for you. It's called Thunderstruck, Mr. Curve. I dedicate this whole rest of the show to you, since you thought you could stand in the way. No help at all from you cowards. But it's all right because we got thunder over here, baby. Yeah! Woo! Stand up, Israel! Woo! Thunder! touch him from wherever we are. That's what we can do. This is all. You're about to find that out. Woo! They want a problem? They'll be thunderstruck. Mark my words. They all know that this is real. Trust my words and follow my guidance. And this will be nothing but a piece of cake. All right. Woo! We're doing fine. Yeah, baby. All right, let's get ready to rock and roll. We take the bad and turn it into good.